Hello, I'm Cara, and today we're going to look at some stretches that you can do post-training session. So these are really nice long stretches that increase your flexibility, and there's something that's really great for after you've had a tough training session. So we're going to start in a lunge position. So bring your right knee forward or your right ankle forward beneath your knee. Your left knee, we're actually going to start with it just beneath your hips. So you want about a 90-degree angle at the front knee, about a 90-degree angle at the back knee. Inhale, lengthen up through the top of the head. So you're pushing the knee into the ground, lengthening up. If at any point it's not comfortable for the knee, you can always place a cushion or just shove your jumper underneath your knee. Good. Now we're going to be looking at the hip flexor. So you're going to lengthen the tailbone and if anything, almost tilt the hips slightly back so that then as we come forward and you press the left hip forward, hopefully you feel a stretch into your hip flexors. What you'll find is that if you tilt the top of the hips forward, you won't feel any stretch at all. And if you tilt it back, then you'll start to feel more of a stretch. So we're just going to tilt it either neutral or just very slightly as though you're tilting backwards, just to find that stretch. You can always bend into the front knee a little bit more to find it and just holding there for a few breaths. You might even feel it more if you just tilt the shoulders back very slightly. Deep breaths as you hold. And then slow to straighten up. Good. Then extending that front leg forward towards straight, lifting the toes up and hinging forward at the hips. This time the hips are tilting forward. We're making sure we keep a nice long spine. Again, what you'll feel is if you fold into the spine, you won't feel that much of a stretch. But if you keep the back long and hinge the hips forward, then you'll be getting a bit more of a stretch, holding there. Some of you might hold this top leg. Some of you might be able to tilt and keep the spine long and have the fingers to the ground, but just holding where you feel some resistance, having the toes drawing back towards you. And then slow to lift back up. Good. Bending into the front knee. Bring the fingertips down and around. And then this back foot will bring across to 90 degrees. And then straighten out that front leg again. Good. Hands to shoulder height. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, reach towards the straight leg. Hand comes down either to that leg or fingertips to the ground, whatever feels most comfortable. And then the other arm reaches up and over. Nice big side lean. Steady breaths as you hold there. And then slow to lift back up. Good. We're going to turn back forward. So bend into the front knee, bring the back foot back in line, and we're coming now to a lower lunge. So what you'll notice here is that with that front ankle beneath the knee, you've now got a diagonal line. So that back knee is behind the hips. So you'll have that little tilt forward with the hips now, but you're still trying to lengthen the spine. So don't over accentuate that back bend. Keep the spine or the tailbone nice and long, and then reaching up and back into our lunge. Nice steady breathing as you hold. Notice if the ribs start to kind of splay out, try and draw them in towards the body. Nice steady breath again as you hold. And then our hands come to the inside of this front foot. Turn the toes out to the side. So these toes are turning out about 45 degrees. It might be a little bit less, a little bit more. And then slowly to the little toe side of the foot. So you're lifting up the sole of the foot. And that might be plenty enough to stay there, lifting up high. Or if you can get there and it feels okay for your body, then maybe just the left elbow comes down, maybe both elbows come down. Good, nice steady breathing, holding. whether you're down or up, you're always working within your range and what works for you. Good, and then slow to lift the hips back up, lower the toes down, and we'll come back to knees side by side. Bringing your left foot forward, again, looking for these 90-degree angles. Think about that long tailbone heading down towards the bottom knee, drawing the ribs and belly in, and then bringing the hips over that knee until you find the stretch in this right hip flexor. Good, and you might even feel like the right hip's just gently pushing forward to try and find that. Maybe the shoulders slightly tilting back and just holding where you feel that. And then slow to straighten back up, straighten out this front leg, lift the toes and draw them back towards you. And then here we keep the tailbone long, hinge from the hips. And then reach the fingertips either towards the ground, maybe to that top leg. Maybe some of you can hinge forward and find the ground. Be just holding that stretch wherever you feel it. So you're not forcing anything. You're going to that point of resistance and then holding. Nice, steady breath. And then lifting back up. Good, and then the fingertips come down, the back foot comes across 90 degrees, straighten out that front leg, toes come down, hands to shoulder height. Inhale, lengthen, extend towards the straight leg, hand to the leg or fingers to the ground, back arm up and all the way over. Nice big side lean, feeling that stretch right the way up the side of the body. Nice deep breaths as you hold. And then slow to lift back up, turning back towards the top of the mat and bending into the front knee, lining up the back foot again, coming to your low lunge. Inhale, reach the arms up, reaching up and back. And again, check in, tailbone long, ribs and belly in as you hold there. Nice deep breathing. And then hands come down to the inside of this front foot. Walk it out to the side a little to create some room if you need to. And then these left toes, they go out about a 45-degree angle again. Then onto the little toe side, if that feels okay for you, either staying here up high, or maybe you come down to just the right elbow and the left arm stays straight. Maybe you come down to both. Or it could be that you actually come to a little bend in the elbow, or if you've got any props, even any books or anything like that, or a cushion, you might come elbows to that slightly elevated position with a prop. So just pausing where you feel a good stretch. As always, don't force anything, just holding where it feels right for you. And then from there, we're going to come back up to straight arms if you're not there. Slide the knees back. Slowly, slowly bring the hips back over the heels and then rest the forehead down into child's pose. Just taking 3 or 4 deep breaths in your child's pose. Really breathing into the back of the body as though the ribs are expanding up and out to the sky. And then slow to walk the hands in. And we'll finish off there. Good. Do make sure you subscribe if you want more videos like this. I've got a lot more slower stretching videos. So if that wasn't quite enough for you, you can follow it by another, maybe one of my lying down videos, something nice and slow and stretchy. Have a lovely day.